Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the DailymotionCup Group C. Match B, I guess, is probably the best way to describe this. Spawning in the bottom position as the blue Zerg player from Team Acer, it is Nerchio. And he's up against this gentleman in the northwest. Playing for Evil Geniuses, it is Oz, who was able to take the first game after a pretty interesting turn of events. I actually really liked Oz's build. It was weird. It was a bit different. It made me uncomfortable in my pants, but you know what? That's okay because he won. So I kind of like the way that he opened up. I think we're probably going to see a little bit more of a standard build on this map since there's no way to really scout, and Nerchio is one of those players that can occasionally just pull something absolutely insane out of left field, especially versus a Protoss player. I mean, I guess more so Terran, but Nerchio is one of those guys that can get inside the head of anybody, particularly people that aren't other Zerg players. So here's the gateway. Oz with that similar setup to what he had last game. I'm mostly wondering when the gas gets taken. Does Oz take a quick gas? Does he still play this gasless setup he had before? With the probes queued up, it could potentially be that. And I'd actually be a little bit surprised. Nerchio starting his spawning pool at 15 supply. This is very standard. And I guess that means Oz could probably get away with just going super gasless again. I wonder if he's going to get the pylon too. Yeah, wow, Oz, he's got balls of steel. He doesn't care about any possible early aggression. He must be super confident in this build. I really haven't seen too much of it, so not trying to sound completely uneducated, but it's very interesting to see the kind of dynamic it brings and the kind of advantage it gives versus the way that Nerchio is playing this somewhat standard defensive style. But here's the Zealot coming in. Queen's on the way. Yeah, not too much happening. There's a Nexus beginning. Nerchio does immediately get the read on this, so he knows what's up. What's hip-hopping, as it were. And the probe's going to go out to do a little bit of scouting, a bit of an expedition. So Nerchio gets this very quick read off on the Nexus, and there's the potential for him to just take the fast third base like he did in the last game, but that also opens up the door for the same sided build I guess Oz did. Nerchio, with this map being smaller, shouldn't have as much difficulty spotting that Warp Prism attack if it were to happen again. So I have to say, it'll be a bit more hard for Oz to catch him off guard. And, oh man, look at that. Oz queued him up, but the hatchery started anyway. Not able to block that hatchery. It's actually really annoying. If you can deny the Zerg like that, do it. Another drone's going to come down to immediately start mining, I guess. Could build a fast spine or spore, something crazy. Obviously wouldn't need a spore crawler, but there's the queen as well. And, oh no, that's actually just because he wants perfect saturation. What a meticulous Zerg player. He's already full. He's got the 16 at his main base. Like, yeah, I'll send down just one. And there's the creep tumor. The queen will head over to the third base to be able to cover this as it completes. Man, queens move slow. But let's see here. We have that first zealot being sent out. A stalker is on the way. Second zealot as well. He's actually going to catch this Zergling. I don't think he'll be able to get a kill off on it, or at least he shouldn't be able to get a kill off on it since, I mean, the Zergling does move faster than the Zealot, but he's going to juke on by. 3 Zerglings run into the main base. If he can get a probe, that would actually be huge, and he will get very close to a probe, but no cigar, and he's still dancing around. Oh, there's one weak probe just chilling. No, okay, no probes will die on this day. Very nice control by Oz, but that does mean that Stalker is going to be a little bit late to the party as these Zealots make their way across. This probe is here too, but the probe isn't going to do much. He doesn't have a wall, and by that I mean he doesn't actually have any gateways. Is he going to build his tech building? Is he going to do a robo again? Is he just going to do the same thing? Okay, two more gateways. This makes me feel better. If he builds the robo too, right under the nose of this Overlord, that would be potentially weird. It's like this is awkward, but no awkward situations. No weird hover hand situation is going to occur as these Zealots move into the third base. There are a few Zerglings. And he's just going to go to town on this hatchery. If he can kill it, that'd be great. But there are 2 queens, so there's some micro potential available. No transfuse, though. Very close to one. Sentry sets phasers to tickle as this Overlord moves away. And this one Overlord on the left spots the pylon. I feel like this is a situation where Oz just builds the pylon for... I mean, it could be like a pylon for shits and giggles, but Warp Gate has completed, so he has the potential to warp in a lot of units despite not having any tech. So this could be just a really weird committed type of attack, but he also has access to recall with this mothership core. So the fact that Nerchio is still droning just shows how much balls he has, because he's not actually scared of a committed all-in from Oz. He says, well, yeah, you want that pylon to scare me and make me build some units, and I might, but I think I can hold this without too much trouble. So Oz is just very tentative. He's going to step back. He's still producing probes. He's like, yeah, I want to make sure I can get saturated and maybe bank up for a third. But he's continuing to bring in more sentries and a zealot. 8 roaches are on the way. So how much does he really do here? I mean, I guess if he has enough force fields, he actually could just parse this off very nicely and try to go for the hatchery, but that would be very difficult. Okay, there's the first force field. He's going to get the queen. That's pretty nice. If you can get a queen, that's always nice. And he's just going to step back. He can maybe try to force field away these roaches. He does have the recall. Like I said, he can recall literally whenever he wants. But, oh boy, he's adding on a lot of gateways. This is going to move straight up to 8 warp gates. This is going to be a super committed all-in from Oz. The question is, does Nerchio have what it takes to hold it? He does have some slow Zerglings, no speed yet. He has 1 spine crawler and a paw full of roaches, but I think getting the drones here on this third base to saturate it was super important for having the economy necessary to stop this all-in. The question is it in time? Because there are so many Protoss units. These sentries have banked up so much energy. I'm honestly not sure what Nerchio is going to be able to do to hold this attack off from the Evil Genius's Protoss. He's got such a scary force. Hallucinated Phoenix comes in here, gives a little bit of poking towards these Zerg units. And he's just going to keep warping stuff in non-stop. He's got a lot of Zerglings and Roaches heading out. Force fields away the Zerglings. Very nice, but there's a Zergling flank from Nerchio. Still force fielding everything up. He's got so much sentry energy, it doesn't even matter. He's got energy for days. The Mothership Core lending its hand as well. More Stalkers being warped in. Nerchio's army is faltering, and Oz is just going to press in now. The Zealot tanking the Spine Crawler. He's going to continue to move in. No force fields on those drones. Very nice for Nerchio to save the drones, but he's going to need to be very, very cautious. 3 spine crawlers have begun. They need about almost a whole minute. 40 seconds now remaining before they finish. So how much time can he buy himself before the spines complete? He's adding on a 4th spine crawler. Continue to pump out tons and tons of Zerglings. Nerchio, how are you going to stop this attack? It looks like he's waiting for the Protoss to engage into the spines. Going for that Overlord. He's just going to force field away the Zerglings. Say, smell you later. I'm just going to kill these spine crawlers. And Nerchio's going to lose his defenses. That's it. None of them will finish. Absolutely everything is crumbling here for the Acer Zerg. Now the Zerglings spill in with these drones, but there's so many Zealots in this composition. Just 10 is enough to kill all of these drones twice over as the Stalkers continue to blast away, and there's the GG.